That's where I come in to figure out what we're doing. All right. All right. So let's take a look at number 30. Number 30 said that I have 3.2r, to make sure this is the one you're talking about, plus 14.7 is equal to a negative 6.74. Is this the one you're talking about? Awesome. Okay. So the cool thing about this one, or the easy thing about this one, is it already is in addition, so I don't need to think about adding the opposite. But I will tell you, I would highly advise that you're not subtracting negative 4.7 from each side. That you're adding a negative, okay? Because you have a negative number over here, and that's going to get confusing, which is why I don't want you guys thinking subtraction on these ever. I want you thinking about adding a negative. All right, again, it's just setting you guys up for making sure you do it right. All right, so I'm going to add a negative 14.7 to both sides. All right, I'm going to throw that 0 in there as a placeholder. All right, so I have 3.2r plus, well, 14.7 plus a negative 14.7 is 0. All right, I know that I've dropped that off as your requirement, but I do want you thinking that, right? Okay, equals, well, I'm adding two numbers with the same sign, so I can go ahead and add these. So 4 plus 0 is 4. 7 plus 7 is 14, carry the 1. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Here's my decimal point. That's a 1. That's 21. It's negative. So I have 3.2r is equal to a negative 21.44. Are you cool with that? Okay. Now from here, I need to divide both sides by 3.2. So off to the side, I do want you guys not using your calculators for this in your homework. Because next year, most of you are taking the high school placement test, if not all of you. And you will not have a calculator. So you've got to keep your brain sharp in doing this division. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move my decimal one place to the right, because my divisor has a decimal in it. Well, 3 divides into 21 7 times. All right, but I think this might be too big, so I'm going to try 6 just to try it. So 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1, that's 18, 19. Let's see once I do my subtraction. Well, that works, I think. Now I'm going to bring that 4 down. 3 divides into 22 7 times. I am going to try this 7, though, because I think this might be the right number. I think 6 is obviously going to be too small. All right, so 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1, that's 22, which is what I wanted. So r is equal to, well, I have a negative divided by a positive, so this is going to be a negative 6.7. And their answer, they said, was a negative 6.7. So did you find your mistake, sweetheart? Awesome. Okay. What else can I do for you guys? Pierre, or Patrick? 31. All right, let's take a look at 31. All right, so 31 said I have 9.1 is equal to k divided by 3.7 plus 4.1. Is this the one you're talking about? Yeah. Awesome. So Patrick, what's the first thing I'm going to do here? I don't know what do is.
Add negative 4.1 to both sides.
Excellent. All right, so on the right side, I get k over 3.7 equals, well, this is subtraction, right? Adding positive and a negative. So this is simply going to be a 5.0. Now what, Patrick? Don't do. I don't do anything.
You multiply 3.7 over 1.
Excellent. Excellent. Nice job. So my 3.7's divide out, which is what I wanted. And off to the side here, I'm going to do 3.7 times 5. 5, carry the 3, 15, 16, 17, 18. 1 decimal, place behind a decimal. So this should be 18.5 positive. I hope that was our answer. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, put this away, get your notes out. All right, so we are going to focus on story problems. Sweetie, you need to bring a pencil with you. Can't come to math class, no pencil. Your mom is super, super sweet. I've met her. I guarantee you she'll get you like a box of pencils to bring with you. Don't you think she would? Yeah. Oh, that stinks. All right. 1023 is today. We are doing Chapter 3, Section 1, continued. All right, we're going to be solving two-step equations. All right, we're going to be focusing on story problems. And I feel like the biggest issue with story problems are those game plans. So let's talk about how we are writing game plans for two-step equations. All right, let's first start with the structure, God bless you, the structure of one-step equation story problems. So this is a little bit of a review, because this is going to bring us into two-step. All right. Whenever we're writing game plans, it's always your whole equal to your parts. All right. Your whole is always a total. It's a final amount. It's a budget. It's a combined amount. Your parts are the things that make up the whole. So for us, we are looking for a rate. That's going to be a part. So we might have something like the cost per minute. We have to multiply by that by my number of minutes. All right, we might have two of the same units info being combined. So an example of that might be the weight of the horse plus the weight of the trailer. All right, so I'm giving you some examples for a one-step equation of what those parts might look like that you're combining together. Are you guys with me so far? Okay. Questions so far? Okay. Now, the only difference between a one-step equation and a two-step equation. Well, let's look at it from just an equation standpoint. I'm going to say one-step versus two-step. Someone give me a one-step equation that would have a rate in it. Colin?
Like a story problem?
Nope, just give me an equation. That has multiplication.
3 times x equals 15.
Excellent. All right. Now, somebody turn that into a two-step equation. So take his one-step equation and turn it into a two-step equation. Sarah? Equals, let's say 15, right? Can you guys see the difference? So visually, what's the difference between a one-step equation and a two-step equation? Sophia? Term. Excellent. How many of you guys see that? All right, so if we take a look at the structure of a one-step equation, we have a variable term equal to a constant. If we take a look at a two-step equation, we have a variable term plus a constant equals a constant. Now the reason I'm breaking this down for you is I need you to understand what we have here. So in our variable term, this is made up of our rate times the denominator info. That's what our variable term is. So that 3x might be like it's $3 per person to get into the fair. All right, so that would be $3 per person. We multiply it by my number of people. This constant is what is new for us. So from a story problem standpoint, what do you suppose a constant would be? If you were to explain what a constant is in information that they're giving to you. Think about what I said about the, when you join a club. Remember we talked about when you're joining a club, and I gave you kind of an idea of like, okay, Planet Fitness might be, you know, this amount per month with a down payment of something, like a membership fee, or what would you say the constant is on that 7 could possibly be? Amanda? It could be tax. Yep, it could be tax. Matthew? Nope, number of months would be what we multiply our rate by, but I like how you're thinking. I do want you thinking in that context, though, with regards to the gym. AJ? Nope. So think about this for like going into the fair. It's $3 per person to go into the fair. All right? What might 7 be? And it's not based on how many people. What might 7 be? Cameron? Maybe. Okay, let me ask you guys, put your hands on. We're going to the gym. We are joining the gym. It's Planet Fitness. My daughter joined it. She had to pay $49 to join. And then she paid $10 per month. And I would say, okay, I want the total cost after any number of months. Okay, so there's kind of my total cost for any number of months would be my goal, right? Total cost. All right. I have a certain $10 per month that I had to pay, and I had the membership fee that I had to pay. Someone tell me, what would that membership? Tell me, going from that perspective, what would that constant be? Alex? The membership fee. It doesn't depend on the number of months, right? It's a one-time cost. So that constant is going to be a one-time cost. It does not depend on any other information. Does not depend on other info. It's a one-time cost, a one-time fee. A beginning amount of something. All right, so from a story problem standpoint, that's what we're looking for. Can you guys see that? Okay, so let's just take a look at a story problem. All right, I want you guys to write the pertinent information down, and then we're going to talk about a game plan. Okay. All right, so I want you to read this. I want you to write the important information down. And then we're going to talk about writing a game plan for this. If you're someone that likes to see where we are, this is example 4 on page 122. Okay, let's explain something here. There's a phrase in here you might not understand. A down payment. Who understands what a down payment is? Who can explain a down payment? Brendan?
Let's say if you are using a car, it's like what you get at the beginning, or instead of like a monthly, like you just do that and then on top of it.
Yeah, so if you have $1,000 to put down on the car, right? That will,
Put down like 200 and then pay the rest off monthly.
exactly. So that 200 would be the down payment. Perfect example of what it is. So that's an understanding, so you guys know what a down payment is. Go ahead and finish this. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I wrote for my given. All right, so we have a drum set. It costs $495. They tell us we can make a down payment, and then we can pay the rest off monthly. They said we're going to have 3 monthly payments. Then they also tell us the down payment was $150. So let's take apart what we have here. All right, remember when we do our game plan, it's always your whole equal to your parts. I say whole equal to your parts. If you want parts equal to your whole, that's fine. I prefer to find my whole first. That's just me, identify the whole, and then the parts is everything else. I can make sense of it from there. All right, so first of all, what information have they given us? What information have they given us? Danny? So here's the how much the drums cost. Would you consider that your whole? Okay, so that's the total. What else have they given us? And I want you guys thinking this before you start writing that game plan. Make sense of what they've given you. What else have they given me? Valentina? Yeah, so here's our down payment. Does that depend on however months we're doing? No, so that one I'm going to call my one-time fee. I'm just labeling stuff. All right. Have they given us a rate? Have they given us a rate? Cameron? Will they be more expand on that? Have they told us the rate? But what are we looking to find? So what are we looking to find? The cost per month. So what we are looking to find is our rate. So while they didn't give us a rate, we do have a rate we need to consider, right? All right, so since we do have a rate to consider, we know we have a rate, we have a one-time cost. This is a two-step equation, okay? So let's go ahead and put this together. Well, we've already gone through the thinking. Danny already said our drum sets are whole. So I'm going to say the cost drum set equals. Well, my rate is always a part. So I'm going to take my cost per month. What information do I know I have to multiply that rate by? I'm hoping by now this is like quick for you that you know this. Coral? Excellent. My number of months. Then I'm going to add to it the down payment. How many of you guys are cool with that game plan? How many of you guys are like, this is getting a little bit easier with game plans? You getting used to this? Awesome. Okay. What don't I know? What don't I know, Addie? Yeah, so that's what I'm going to make my X. Okay, so now I've gotten like all the thinking out of the way. Now it's just writing the equation and solving. This should be the easy part. All right, somebody write my equation for me now. Alex,
495 equals,
please.
so 495 plus 3x.
Excellent. And it doesn't matter the order because it's addition. All right, so if you want to do 3x plus 150, that's fine. All right, if you do it this way, that's fine. AJ, finish doing this for us. Excellent. Sweet, keep going. Excellent. Is what? Yep, so all of you should be doing this division. And you got, was it terminating? It stopped at 115? Awesome. So I have 115. So someone explained to me, AJ did the hard work on that. Someone explained to me, what does that answer mean? Cullen?
That our monthly payment is $150 and it was 13.
Excellent. The monthly payment is $115. You guys cool with that? A little bit easier with these game plans? Awesome. Okay, you guys can go. Right? Yeah.